Hey you guys, it's your girl T and it's time for another recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And yes, I know I'm a few days late, but I have been sick and I was under the weather, but I'm feeling better, so I wanted to go ahead and get this recap up. And to me, my recaps are always late. People are like, why don't you put them up right away? Because I'm not in a race to recap ratchetness. I get to it when I get to it. To me, my recaps are not always there when you call, but they're always on point. And that's the difference. I'm not racing with nobody to put up a recap. I want my recaps to be well thought out, be on point, and make people think. And that's why I do my recaps, and I'm glad that you guys support them. You guys love them. So let's go ahead and get this recap started. So in the opening scene, we have Claudia Jordan and her jacked up ass feet. These have to be the worst feet in history. I've never seen nobody's feet look like this. Every last toe on her foot looks like it's pregnant. I'm like, what kind of foot is this? I have never seen corns before. People are like, oh, you know, that's normal. No, it's not. I wear high heels and my toes do not look like that. I've never gotten a corn. I've never gotten a bunion. I thought she was playing when she said she had some jacked up feet, but she was not playing. Old girl was dead ass serious. Kenya looked disgusted. Kenya was in there screaming and carrying on. And then when the doctor grabbed her foot barefooted, I was like, oh, hell no. Couldn't be me. So that whole situation was a mess. As beautiful as Claudia is, those feet were no joke. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Kandi, and Kandi's meeting up with Demetria. She wants to apologize to Demetria about everything that went down at her little sex party with her and Gaucher or whatever. And Demetria, you know, you can tell she's still feeling some type of way, but she really likes and respects Kandi as a businesswoman and as a hustler and as an entertainer. And she even tells Kandi that she would love to do a record with Kandi, maybe have Kandi on one of her songs. And Kandi's looking at her like, no way, bitch. I done been down this road several times. And you can tell that Kandi's over helping these Real Housewife women with their albums and, you know, not getting paid, getting shafted. So as of now, Kandi's, I know she's not, you know, really down to do that, but that she will support Demetria in her endeavors. So then Demetria decides to invite Kandi and the rest of the girls down to Puerto Rico to come see her do her grand opening event, which she's going to be singing for a big audience of people. And she wants to invite everybody to come on vacation, get to know each other better, and have a good time. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Kenya, and Kenya's going to the Bailey agency to go hang out with Cynthia and basically interview potential personal assistants. Why this woman needs a personal assistant, I don't know, but she's determined to have a personal assistant. And she's also talking to Cynthia about everything that went down in Kandi's party. She feels like Nene is two-faced and she's flip-flop, and she's tired of Nene acting like she's cool with her and Cynthia. And then when they get around the other girls, Nene acts brand new. And Cynthia's agreeing with Kenya. She's like, she doesn't understand what Nene's point is, why she would call them out there to dinner, want to meet with them, and then when they get to the party, Nene acts like she doesn't know either one of them. And Kenya starts throwing shade at Nene. She's like, she's looking for a personal assistant that's around the age of 60, that's very close to Nene's age. And then she says that Nene better stop flipping her damn toupee before it goes flying off her head. Kenya has a lot of jokes this season. This woman is a mess. Kenya's not holding back. She's tired of Nene's shit, and she's ready to call Nene out on it. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Phaedra, aka Fakera, and Nene, and they're going to go see Demetria at the studio. And Demetria's in there and she's singing, and Demetria has a beautiful voice. Even Nene has to admit that Demetria can sing. And I felt like Nene was throwing a little bit of shade at Kandi when she was talking about how well Demetria sings and how she sings so much better than all these other women that have been on the show. And we all know the only other singer on the show is Kandi. And when Kandi first came to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene threw her a lot of shade, said she couldn't sing and everything else. But in this scene, she was giving Demetria high praises. So Phaedra comes in shortly after, and it seems like Phaedra, you know, just has an attitude with Demetria for no reason. Demetria welcomes them with open arms. She says that she wants to invite them to Puerto Rico. They're saying, you know, that they'll think about going. You know, it sounds like it's going to be an interesting trip. And then they get onto the topic of Roger Bob. And you can tell Demetria does not want to talk about Roger Bob. And, you know, Phaedra's like, well, you know, I don't understand, you know, how long have you been with him? Why hasn't he married you yet? You know, you're not a spring chicken no more. You're not a fresh tulip. Why didn't you start singing when you was in your 20s? You know, are you trying to do pop? Are you trying to do R&B? Why are you waiting until you're in your late 30s to start a singing career? And Demetria's looking at Phaedra like, damn, bitch, where's all this shade coming from? You know, and what I find funny is that, one, Phaedra is a lot older than Demetria, so why is she throwing shots at Demetria's age? Two, Demetria looks a lot younger than 35. Demetria is very beautiful for her age. She has a nice body. Phaedra very much looks like her damn age. She don't look younger than her age. She looks like her age, if not older. She's always dressed like a damn school teacher and always has a bitter scowl on her face. I feel like there has to be some underlying issues here because the way she was coming at Demetria to me was not cool at all. And then Demetria made a comment about a role that she played on House of Pain where she played this crackhead character. And then Phaedra gonna ask her, well, did you really smoke crack? And Demetria's looking at her like, really? Why would you ask me that? You know, that's so stupid of Phaedra. You're supposed to be a lawyer. You're supposed to, you know, be this smart woman. Why would you think that this woman would need to smoke crack to play a role? And then she had to know to talk about people in Hollywood talking about, well, you know, I don't know. I had to ask if she was smoking crack because, you know, them folks in Hollywood, they do real weird stuff. You know, they be putting gerbils up their butts and everything else. And I'm sitting there like, while you talking about what people in Hollywood are putting up their ass, your man is sitting in prison for the next 8 years. I wonder what Apollo's putting up his ass currently. I'm going to need Phaedra's ass to have a tall glass of shut the fuck up. I cannot stand this woman and her high acidity, fake ass attitude. People stay standing for Phaedra and stay standing for Nene. I can't stand either one of these women. I'm over them. I've tried to, you know, like them. I tried to find, you know, endearing qualities about both of these women. And I'm just to the point now where I just don't find any. There was no reason for her to throw all this shade at Demetria unless Apollo done fucked Demetria or unless Apollo done spoke about Demetria. I don't understand where all this underlying beef comes from. They have to have a deeper story and a deeper issue with each other than what they're letting on. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, everybody flies out to Puerto Rico. Demetria's in the car with Candy and Portia. And Portia's looking lovely. She has on a really short dress that, you know, shows her ass. And Candy's throwing, you know, a little bit of shade there, Candy. I'm going to need you to get it together, honey. Portia was looking good. That outfit was on point. Get it, Portia. And y'all know Portia get on my damn nerves. But I'm going to give props where props are due. That dress was cute. Hopefully I can find it in my size this summer. So anyways, they're all in the car. And Demetria makes an announcement that Roger Bob, surprise, surprise, he's not going to be there at the showcase. And Portia's like, you know what I'm saying, what is going on with him, Demetria? This is your man. He should be there to support you. I don't understand how he wasn't at your last event and now you in Puerto Rico. This is your big, you know, coming out. Why is he not there? And once again, Demetria's making excuses for him. And she's like, well, you know what? It don't matter if he can come or not. He's the one paying for this trip. He's cutting my checks. He's paying for my studio time. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares what he's doing for you. He can do things for you monetarily, but at the end of the day, he should also be there physically. If you're his woman, he really supports your career. End of story. Now, Candy says that maybe Portia needs to give us ladies some advice because she's messing with a Nigerian man who done buy her an $80,000 bag. And when I tell you that bag was off the chain, but me personally, being the person I am, being business-minded, ain't no way in hell I will feel comfortable with a man buying me an $80,000 handbag. That same $80,000 could have been used to start my own business. I would have flipped that money 3 times over when it was said and done. So there's no way in hell I would take an $80,000 bag as opposed to $80,000 in cash and start my own multimedia company. That is my dream company. And maybe one day I too will meet a rich man who decides to invest $80,000 into me. So I'm not mad at Portia, honey. Get your money, boo. However you can get it, get it. But in my personal opinion, she should be taking them $80,000 bags and putting it into a business that can, you know, make her more and more money. And yes, I know she has the weave business and all that stuff. But like I said, that $80K could go back into her business to make her, you know, triple the amount. But, you know, to each his own. Everybody's not business minded. So we're going to go on ahead and move on to the next scene. So in the next one, we have Claudia, Cynthia, and Kenya. And they're all riding together to go meet up with the ladies. And they're talking about Nene and Phaedra and how, you know, they've been kind of acting kind of shady and things like that. And they basically have coined themselves Team Pretty. And I'm sitting here like, really? Are we in kindergarten? You guys are grown women who are damn near in your 50s, okay? These women are closer to 50 than they are to 20. And you guys come up with a name like Team Pretty? I'm going to need y'all to grow the hell up. We all know you guys are beautiful. There's no need to start a Team Pretty. You guys are not 21 and under. It's like these grown women be having straight up mentalities of teenagers. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Phaedra and Nene. They're finally arriving to the hotel. Demetria has welcomed Cynthia and Kenya and Claudia, and they're all laughing and kikiing. So Demetria goes to go get ready by her style team. So then Nene and Phaedra are walking around with their stank-ass attitudes. Phaedra looks like somebody's fucking mama with these big dumb-ass glasses on and this damn sweater buttoned all up to her damn throat. You know what I mean? So she doesn't look sexy at all. And Portia definitely caught her out on it. So they're walking around around trying to find Demetra, and they finally find Demetra. She's getting her hair and makeup done. And you know, Phaedra just throws more shots at Demetra, and she said, oh, your style is on point this time. You definitely look a lot better now, than your usual style. And her stylist turned around like, bitch, really? Like, I'm the one who does her style. I'm the one who glams her up. What's up with the shade? And, Phaedra's like, well, I'm not, throwing no shade. I'm just saying she looks really, really on point tonight. As if to say Demetra doesn't look on point any other night. Phaedra just has a real nasty attitude. And then in her confessional, she's throwing more shade at Demetra. And she's like, you know what? I could see she was opening for Mariah Carey. I'd be like, hey, girl. I could see she was opening for Beyonce. I'd be like, okay, hey. But you're just Demetra. You're not, you're not filling up arenas. You're just singing in front of a small crowd. And I'm sitting here like, really, Phaedra? That's how you show somebody support, especially somebody that you supposedly don't know. Like I said, there has to be more to their relationship than meets the eye, because Phaedra is throwing way too much shade at Demetra for no other reason. I feel like she's very jealous of Demetra, because Demetra is doing her thing, living her life, and Phaedra done messed around, had 2 kids by an ex-felon. Now she's bitter and mad at the world. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Portia, NeNe, and Phaedra. They go to check out Portia's room because they're kind of upset because their room is small. It doesn't have a balcony. And, they feel some type of way. So Portia's like, well, how y'all doing? Phaedra, why you dressed like somebody mama? Why you dressed like a school teacher? And Phaedra looks at Portia and completely ignores everything that Portia just said, because she knows what Portia is saying is the truth. Phaedra looks like a damn joke on this trip. So then NeNe's like, girl, Phaedra was over there checking, Demetra's glam squad. And the gay dude turned around like, And once again, NeNe's making fun of gay men. She's copying his mannerisms and, going in on him. But yet and still, it don't matter, because the gay community will always support NeNe Leakes, which I don't understand. She disrespects gay people time and time again. NeNe had no business making fun of that young man, because that young man was sticking up for his work. And Phaedra had no business dissing that young man's work. And I think both NeNe and Phaedra were both wrong in this instant. And for NeNe to try and clown him and try and, mock his mannerisms because he's gay says a lot about NeNe Leakes. And the thing that I find funny is that Phaedra wants to throw shots at Demetra's makeup job and, say she's not really on point. But this is the same pudgy ass bitch that was photoshopping her pictures on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. She posted a picture on social media with her and Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj's body looks a lot better than Phaedra's. And what did Phaedra do? She went ahead and photoshopped her stomach and her sides, and people called her out on it. So you want to talk about Demetra and how Demetra is not on point? You're just jealous and you're just insecure because your body's not on point. You yourself are not on point. Because if you were truly secure with yourself, you would not have to Photoshop yourself standing next to Nicki Minaj. And yes, that was a read. I don't give a damn what none of y'all say. She needed to get read right there and then. Moving on to the next scene. So in the last and final scene is finally the dinner scene. So Demetra had talked to Kenya, Cynthia, and Claudia earlier, and they kind of encouraged her, that whatever she has on her chest, she needs to speak up about it now, because Phaedra is known for throwing shade and trying to read people on the low, and that she needs to put an end to it before it snowballs out of control. So they're all sitting down for dinner, and Demetra starts. She's like, you know what, Phaedra, I don't know what type of issues you have with me, but I feel like you were throwing a lot of shade at me at the studio. You were being really disrespectful. You were bringing up my age. You were bringing up my relationship. And Phaedra was like, well, I didn't bring up your relationship. You brought up your relationship. She said, but if I want to bring up my relationship, that's fine. But that's not for you to sit there and constantly throw salt. And my thing is, you're older than me. So why are you worried about how old I am when I'm 35? You're in your 40s. So now Phaedra's kind of stuck. And then she's like, well, I don't care. I don't owe you nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who you think you are. Now they're going back and forth. And then Demetra says, you know what? The only thing we have in common, Phaedra, is the number 8. Your man is gone for 8 years and my man has been here for 8 years. When I tell you, when Demetra said that shit, honey, you could have heard a pin drop. I was like, get her, bitch. Get her. Demetra needed to put Phaedra in her damn place. And then, of course, Phaedra caught herself flipping out. And, you don't know me like that. And, you keep your business to yourself. And if you're going to put it out there, I'm going to comment. And I'm like, whatever, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now she want to get crumping body because everything Demetra said was true. And, Phaedra's only rebuttal is, well, at least I'm married. At least I got a ring. First of all, honey, she keeps trying to throw this ring in Kenya's face and in everybody's face who will listen. You getting a ring from a 3-time felon, from somebody who was not working, from somebody who was screwing on an air mattress at the halfway house. does not constitute as anything when you're a lawyer. Now, I can see she was a fry cook at Burger King. You are a big-time lawyer, supposedly in ATL, so you getting a ring from a felon, to me, that's a downgrade. I wouldn't even brag about being married to Apollo and, you know, having him put a ring on it, because we all know the reason why he married her is because she was pregnant first. Yeah, I remember the first season, she didn't know when her due date was, and she swore up and down that she wasn't 9 months pregnant, and then she went into labor. So Phaedra is just full of shit. She's been fake from day one, from, you know, the way she carried her pregnancy, the way she lied about everything, and then, you know, she hurried up and married Apollo while she was pregnant, but now she wants to throw that in Demetrius' face. I don't respect that at all. At the end of the day, just because you're married to somebody does not mean anything. At the end of the day, marriage is a good thing, and if you can be married, great. But that doesn't make you better than somebody who's not married, especially when your relationship is shit. It ain't like she got the most solid marriage out here. So I don't think that she needs to be throwing shade and bringing her marriage up as a way to kind of throw it in Demetrius' face, when it's like, look at the dude that you married. He's going back to prison for the next 8 years for trying to keep up a lifestyle that your dumb ass got accustomed to. So after they get into it, Cynthia then decides to pipe in, and she's like, you know what, I just think, you know, maybe Phaedra, you should apologize, at least acknowledge that Demetrius' feelings were hurt. You know, it doesn't make any sense for us to have, like, you know, this cloud hanging over us and for people to have attitudes. And then Nene pipes in like, why should she apologize? She didn't do nothing wrong. Were you there? You know, it was just me, her, and Demetri in the studio. You weren't there, Cynthia, so why should she apologize? And I'm sitting there like, well, damn, Nene, why are you biting Cynthia's head off? Cynthia didn't do anything to you. She's trying to take the mature route and say, you know what, let's just apologize instead of be water under the bridge. And here goes Nene, you know, biting her head off again. Nene's showing her true colors. So while all y'all was falling for Nene's tricks and her tears 2-3 weeks ago, I called her ass out and I told y'all that I wasn't buying her tears, that she was a bully and she was only doing this for a storyline. And her actions, the way she talked to Cynthia at that table and treated Cynthia, proved everything I said 3 weeks ago. I don't buy shit that Nene says. Nene will do anything to keep herself relevant on this show. So finally, Cynthia, being the, you know, the meek person she is, she falls back. She doesn't want to say anything. She doesn't want to get confrontational with Mimi. So Cynthia backs down, and then Claudia in her confessional says, you know what, Nene Leakes is a founding father of shadiness, and I'm basically tired of this. So, you know, Nene's talking her shit, and she tells Kandi, do you know where a studio's at so we can go ahead and make some beats? So then that's just the final straw for Claudia. Claudia's like, you know what, Nene, enough is enough. You know, we need to be mature. We need to start treating each other with respect. All this whole situation that's going on right now, it's not that serious. So now Nene's looking at her like, bitch, who do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? You need to go talk to Ricky Smiley, not to me. And Claudia's like, what does Ricky Smiley have to do with this? I don't need to talk to Ricky Smiley. I'm talking to Miss Nene Leakes. Then she brings up the fact that Nene was a stripper and she was also arrested. And Nene's like, it don't matter if I was arrested. I was in my 20s and I had the strip to take care of my son. And I'm very proud that I was a stripper. Now, I love that whenever somebody brings up Nene's past, she wants to dismiss it. Just because you're in your 20s does not make it okay. Bitch, I was in my 20s too and I ain't never been arrested. A lot of people done been in their damn 20s and they ain't never, you know, been arrested. They don't have no mugshot. So what is you saying? Like, all of a sudden that's okay because you were in your 20s, that's an excuse for having an arrest record? And, you know, her, as far as her being a stripper, like I said, I have no issues with people being strippers. I've been to the strip club. It don't matter. Do you, however you can get your money, because I'm not paying your damn bills. But stop acting like your life was just so hard and destitute that you had no other choice but to take care of your son stripping. It's not like she had 7 kids. She had 1 child. Okay, she could have very well waitress, busted her ass, worked hard, but Nene wanted some fast and quick and easy money, and she stripped. And the only reason why she stopped stripping was because Greg's silly ass went and took her off the pole and left his wife and 5 children to be with Nene Leakes. That's the only reason why she stopped stripping, is because she married Greg. So to me, just because you strip to put food on your table, I mean, what does that mean? A lot of people don't have to do shit to put food on their table. It doesn't necessarily make it right or wrong, but for her to act like, you know, motherfuckers should kiss her feet because she was hanging on a damn pole, I mean, miss me with the bullshit. And then Nene's like, well, it don't even matter. We the same age. And Claudia's like, well, it don't matter if we're the same age. I look 20 years younger than you. And Nene's like, no, you don't. She's like, when you were my age, honey, you had edges. Then she tells Nene, go ahead and spell bridesmaid. The S is silent, you dumbass. So Nene's just sitting there looking stupid. Claudia is reading her for the filth. Because Nene can't think of nothing else to say to Claudia, of course, then she resorts to like sexual insults. And she says that Claudia's a hoe. Everybody in the industry done fucked her. Her clit has left her body. And Claudia's like, yeah, whatever, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's what females always resort to when they ain't got nothing else to say. And then Nene comes back and says, you need to shut the hell up, you half-breed. half-breed. And when she said that, I was like, Lord have mercy. Why did Nene have to go there with the half-breed comment? Bitch, now you coming off like a bitter-ass, dark-skinned woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, why call this girl a half-breed? Because you can't think of no other comeback. See, and that's my issue with Nene. She loves to throw shade. She loves to throw shots. She likes to come at the gays. She likes to come at any woman who looks better than her. This woman is highly insecure. She's had more plastic surgery than anybody on this show, and the plastic surgery has not helped her in the least. It's not like she got it and it made her look better. Like, the plastic surgery ruined her nose. She looked a lot better first season than she does now, and I feel like she's very, very insecure. You know what I mean? And as soon as people bring that up about her, as soon as people call out on her shit, she wants to hit real low below the belt. So I have no respect for Nene. I'm glad that Claudia drug her ass for the filth. She drug her ass all up and down Twitter. Folks was giving Claudia props all night. I think a lot of people are tired of Nene and Phaedra's antics. So Sunday's show was a straight up trip. It was crazy as hell. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. What was your favorite comeback that Claudia said to Nene? And then how do you feel about, you know, Nene's attitude and Phaedra's attitude in this particular episode? Do you feel like they're just bitter and jealous, or do you feel like they had every right to come at Claudia and Demetra the way that they came at them? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. And if you're not following me, I'm at LovelyT on Twitter, and I'm LovelyT2002 on Instagram. All right, deuces.